So I think we can do more eddas.
More eddas?
Should we do that first or second?
Second? No, wait, first. I like the edda.
Do some edda and then do some sake.
Maybe, yeah. If we run out of steam.
Edda the edda.
We should get a timer for the edda stuff and then a timer for the sake stuff. No? Okay.
I think it's not desirable.
Consistency is, what was it? Not
Yeah,
strived
that's
for.
what I'm
You could also just ask me.
That's true.
I have the time.
Union always does the time.
Always have it.
Do you want one? Which one do you want?
We're doing dueling again?
Dueling edda.
Because we kind of, we'll go back to the beginning of read the rest of the intro maybe on this one, and then pick up where we left off.
Okay.
Maybe. Because that end part that when we started listing all the charms and stuff, it was good, and we didn't do all of them.
The
About
charm,
night hags and stuff.
Oh yeah. I need to know the charms.
Or he just starts telling all the spells at the end. But in the introduction, he'll line out all the different parts. I kind of skipped him. I only explained the first two parts.
Yeah. Just put it nest it. The sayings of the High One. It's a lot of stuff about how friends should be.
That does sound good. We should do all those.
What a good friend is.
It's funny.
If you have a friend you feel you can trust and you want him to treat you well, open your mind to him, give him gifts, and go see him often.
There you go.
Nice. This is just good advice.
Right. Open your mind to him.
Yeah, open your mind to me. Give me gifts.
We start.
If there's a man that you mistrust and you want him to treat you well, let your words be fair, but false to your thought. Pay back lying with lies. Yeah, that's good.
I didn't know we started. Did we start?
Let's keep your friends close and your enemies closer. Did we?
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
We started.
Yeah. So glad that you could join us.
Welcome back to books.
Scrounge.
We got all the books.
So that's good. If there's that's really good advice actually. Don't be a jerk to people that you mistrust.
We're reading the.
Oh yeah.
We're back in the sayings of Har. So the other thing I didn't really say last time. So in the original language or whatever, it's called the Havamal. Is what it's called.
You can't have them all.
Havamal. Yeah. But I was looking online and because I was like, oh, everyone kind of has their own. We could translate, the Havamal. We could do our own version, yeah. Mm-hmm. And then I found this guy who's the main thing that comes up when you Google or YouTube Havamal is there's a guy who he's a professor at the University of Colorado, and he kind of, he's like, Old Norse kind of guy or something, but he does a cowboy translation.
What?
In kind of cowboy talk. But I don't know.
Holy shit.
So he has the cowboy Havamal.
You bring up a way cooler thing at the
I
beginning.
don't know. I kind of realized it. I was just like, this is kind of dumb. I was reading it, and because he's like
it
35.
sounds ridiculous.
Yeah, it's like a guy, dressed in like a weird little hat, and he's out on a horse in nature.
He's probably got charms on the hat.
No, he's a very regular looking guy. I don't know, but
sounds like an eccentric weirdo if he made a cowboy translation of a Norse. Just two cultures that had no ties.
I'll pull up a pic of him. I can say his name.
Cowboys and Vikings.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah, I think it was mostly just kind of you could say it in those. They have their own language that you could translate it into. The cowboy language.
Right.
Yeah.
If you sidle up to a ne'er-do-well, be ever mindful of your
Yeah, I got to bring all my cowboy. I have a bunch of cowboy saying books I could bring. That
I need to learn.
Shit. Okay, so his name is here's strike 1 and 2. His name is Jackson Crawford.
Yeah, nope.
But yeah, it's the cowboy Havamal. Is there a picture?
You want to give that name a wedgie?
You can't really see. This is the play button's in where his face is, but it's just he has a weird vibe.
He looks like a CIA operative pretending to be a cowboy.
He's a CIA plant.
He's a Fed.
There's the cowboy. What do you think, Union? Oh wait, that's just his mouth. Dude, why is my phone so bad?
Well, he has a hat, but you don't. He looks.
He doesn't look like a cowboy. Yeah.
He looks confused and scared to be where he is.
Yeah.
He looks like he's played Red Dead Redemption.
He looks like a movie star who
But
bought
also,
property
he looks
in
like
Texas.
a person who. No, he does not look like a movie star. He looks
like
like
a
a loser.
just
yeah.
a guy who was on like shitty TV,
Sure.
and then bought into the whole "let's move to Texas" thing that every
Right. He lives in Colorado. Though.
He looks like guy running for county district attorney.
yeah,
I'm gonna put this cowboy hat.
the
and
cowboy
that'll-
hat candidate.
That'll be it.
That is a type of guy who runs for office.
But he looks like he's made a video that's like, everyone's been asking about my response to Red Dead Redemption. And it's like, oh, no, I don't.
10 problems I had before you
I
buy
don't-
Red Dead
I don't
Redemption 2.
I don't want that. But yeah, so he has a cowboy one.
World accuracy in Red Dead Redemption. He's
Right.
pointing out inaccuracies.
Yeah.
Yes.
So he has a lot of critiques.
He runs a gang on Red Dead Online.
He does run a gang. A role-playing gang.
Okay, so I think we did kind of the first and second part, and there's like 5 parts or something of the Havamal. So this is the 4th part. Okay, so the 4th part, without any connection. Okay, it contains the 3rd part contains miscellaneous counsels on such subjects as love and friendship, supposedly given to the Thule, Lodfafnir by Othin himself. As a whole, this portion is notably inferior to the first. Okay, maybe we should skip that part then. If Lee Hollander is saying this part is notably
Which part
inferior.
is it? What portion of stanzas?
111 through 137.
That's the bullshit.
That's what he was saying. It's inferior. But so the rune poem, a 4th part, the so-called rune poem, is 138 to 146.
We're right here.
Composed in somewhat incoherent stanzaic forms, deals obscurely with runic wisdom, as acquired and taught by Othin. Last, there are 18 magical charms in Lohayahater, efficient to make dull the blades of swords, to cure disease, to calm the sea, and to perform other useful services if used with the proper runes. Which we shall see with similar collections in the Sigrid Driftfumal and Groggalder. Manifestly, this poem is not a homogeneous whole, but a congeries of aphorisms, proverbs, magic lore, and the like, which we owe to some early collector. Attempts toward a better ordering of the material have not carried conviction. To establish the age and provenance of such a collection is, from the nature of the case, not feasible. However, Norwegian origin seems likely for most of it. We know that at least some stanzas existed in the 10th century, for certain lines are quoted or composed, for all we know, by the noted skald Eyvind Skjaldarspillr, who died toward the end of that century. The Codex Regius, our sole source for this collection, also gives us the title. Stanza 1 is quoted in the Prose Edda, stanza 84, lines 4 through 6, in the Fostbrare Saga, chapter 21. So this is, and some of the other, so we're in the Poetic Edda, there's also the Prose Edda.
The Prosetta.
No, 2 words.
Prosetta Stone. Is that this
No,
whole book
you're
is the
thinking
poetic?
of runes.
This is
No.
just the poetry.
This is just the Poetic Edda.
Okay.
Which I don't. So there's a thing called the that they mentioned, the Codex Regius. That's
The
where
Codex
a lot of
Regius?
the stuff is. So a lot of these books were the only source is like a weird book that's in the Danish library, like the Danish National Library in Copenhagen,
Yeah.
and it's just from like the 14th century, and they're all written on all this stuff. But that's where the Codex Regius is.
It's like runic. Do you think there's a translated version? It's
It's
just like
not
I want to
runic.
buy
So
all
the
these
runic
books.
stuff is the runic stuff is this is post. They're like writing down stuff,
Okay.
but the runic stuff is 138 through 146.
Yeah, the runic stuff. It's really I don't know why. But the runic
Well,
stuff
Union
sounds
was
like
talking
fun.
about how Union has some runes that
You
they
have
purchased
some
at some
runes.
witch store.
I
or
got
something.
some runes. You
You
want
went
me
to some kind of. You visited a hag or something of that.
Yeah.
You've
Some sort
encountered
of
some hags.
a warlock's merchant stand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I ordered some came with this book, and then I just bought a set in this shop in New Orleans from.
How many
no.
crow feathers did he
Oh,
charge you?
no.
I forgot.
Did you bring some live chickens to trade?
I think it was only like $15, but the stone's like rose quartz, so they're pink. They look cool.
Yeah.
You want to see them?
Yeah.
Yeah, bringing out the runes.
Get the runes. We are going to, at the end of this episode, we're going to be killing a black rooster
Yeah.
and spilling the blood on the runes
Black Peter.
and making something really scary happen.
I wanted the Norseman to be better.
The show?
The movie.
The movie?
Yeah.
I need to watch it.
It's the guy that made The Witch.
I kind of already know that all that shit is like gonna be bad. Like
It's pretty good.
Stuff about Vikings.
I think you'd like it. This one's good because it's the first kind of Viking thing where there's like they touch on slavery and stuff, or like weird.
But it's like that is the
that's
thing
going
is they're
on.
like they were bad guys, and it's like yeah we know.
Right, but there's good guys in this. There's nice, Ethan Hawke's.
There's good.
Nice.
I love Ethan Hawke.
There's weird guys.
I'll watch it just.
But you
for
should
Ethan
also
Hawke.
watch the movie The Vikings from the 50s.
Okay.
It has Ernest Borgnine is in it. And
Have I seen anything?
He's
Holy
the voice
shit.
of Mermaid Man.
All right, I don't want to touch these,
You
but
can touch
you guys can touch them.
This is a little book it came with. It.
Wow.
Book of the runes.
The Rune Book.
The Book of
By
Runes.
Blum.
Oh man,
Viking runes. Wow.
we should just hold one that has the quality that we want to.
Right. This is the
Imbue
25th
ourselves
anniversary of
with.
the Book of Runes. Wow. So yeah, we got the Book of Runes. Who is this by?
So do you do them like tarot cards or Yahtzee, where you dump them out on the table and then like interpret them?
Yeah,
them?
yeah,
Yeah,
you pick them,
course.
and then there's kind of like a reading that goes with each letter.
This
Yeah.
one.
Any fans of the I Ching? You guys like the I Ching?
I think this is a tattoo that white supremacists.
It's kind of like the
get.
I Ching.
Oh yeah.
This one, you see this tattooed on the calf of a lot of
Yeah.
dudes who
Yeah, no, these are notorious. Yeah, Hitler likes some of these,
Hitler loved runes.
There's
yeah.
all this, of course, there's a lot of dirty stuff going on historically.
I'm
here,
not
but-
saying it's bad. It's just more for historical context.
Right, and another one, another rune, a daily rune we all interact with. The Bluetooth symbol is a rune.
Yeah, that's
From
right.
Lord Bluetooth or whatever.
Lord Bluetooth.
Yeah, there's some Danish guy. His name's just,
Is Bluetooth? Is that
Yeah.
growth? Is that the rune for?
He
growth?
has his own one, and I think it's his
Yeah.
crest. It's not one of them.
That's,
Oh,
the thing.
okay.
It's like two.
It's a couple of them, yeah.
Yeah, combined.
To make Bluetooth.
Bluetooth.
But I guess
And you swallow these?
I actually used to go see a psychiatrist who was like big into these. Is more like metaphorical.
Nice.
I guess what's nice
Sort
about
of
it,
hag psychiatrist.
yeah, they're
Yeah.
hags
A
like
quack
that.
snake oil salesman.
No, not a, I
She
believe
was
in
on-
hags. I think hags are real.
Well, I think the beauty of it is like if you read the interpretations, it's not like fortune telling at all. It's more like a guide for like I don't know.
Right.
This-
You'd like it's like the I
interpreting-
Ching. You're kind of
Yeah.
describing how the I Ching works too.
Yeah.
It's called the Book of Change.
Yeah.
And there's different little you have these yarrow sticks that you throw down and there's different like configurations. Like I think there's 64, maybe there's more configurations, and you go and look and each one has like a specific little thing to read.
yeah.
I like how there's just an
Chinese
empty one,
thing.
and there's one that's just called unknowable, and
Yeah.
it's just a blank
Yeah.
rock.
Yeah.
Right.
And that is a rune in and of itself is nothing.
Yes.
Should we do a reading?
We were gonna read the rune stuff from the other books.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just didn't know you could read runes like.
Right. I mean, this is
Like
that's
cards.
kind of
There's a
Union's book.
That's
Process,
sidetracking me
but-
really bad. I'm
Yeah.
getting way too into this.
It's
You
a
gonna
cool
read
book.
138.
Yeah,
All right.
138. It starts with
All right.
Odin's
Oh,
son.
let me read the footnote first. Here begins the portion usually called the rune poem. In order to discover the runes and through them to become possessed of secret wisdom, Othin sacrificed himself by hanging himself on the world ash and wounding himself with his spear.
Mm-hmm.
Sound familiar? Anybody? Any Christians think that sounds familiar?
Happy Easter.
Hence, the world tree is called Yggdrasil. That is Ig, the terrible ones, Othin's horse, the gallows. I don't know. The manner in which Othin sacrificed himself is instanced also otherwise in Germanic heathendom. For example, according to Gautric's saga, chapter 7, the hero Starkath sacrificed King Vikar to Othin by transfixing him with a spear and suspending him from a tree. It is difficult, however, to avoid the conclusion that the conception of the first two stanzas is ultimately derived from the crucifixion scene of the Bible, as Bugge has endeavored to prove. So there's some guy, Sophus Bugge. I don't really know how to say his name.
Sophus Bugge.
Yeah. There's Bugge. I feel like it's Bug or something. I don't know.
Dang. So Odin's Jesus?
Kinda.
Wow.
Sorta.
Cool.
He dies on a tree for our sins.
Comes from one story.
I hung on the wind-tossed tree of nights 9. Wounded by spear, bespoken by Othin, bespoken myself to myself upon that tree of which none telleth from the roots it doth rise.
Odin said, I know that I hung on a high windy tree for 9 long nights. Pierced by a spear, Odin's pledge, given myself to myself. No one can tell about that tree, from what deep roots it rises. Yours sounds a lot more
Neither horn
grave.
they upheld, nor handed me bread. I looked below me, aloud I cried. Caught up the runes, caught them up wailing, thence to the ground fell again.
They brought me no bread, no horn to drink from. I gazed towards the ground, crying aloud, I caught up runes, finally I fell.
What is the runes? I don't understand how the runes
He
play
caught
into
them
that.
up.
Okay, what does that mean?
He caught them.
Up?
Well, these are little... Have they always been on little rocks? Is that a tradition?
Yeah.
Maybe they threw them at him.
They put them on.
That's not what caught up the runes means.
I'm just guessing.
He doesn't mean he didn't catch them with his hand, I don't think.
I caught up runes. Finally I fell. Oh, maybe he yelled, he screamed.
Yeah, he has shouts or whatever.
I think he did a shout.
He did a shout.
He said Fusro Da, and he fell
yeah.
down.
Okay.
Shout
Caught
out
up
Reddit.
the runes. Called up the runes. I don't know. Yeah, we'll see what's going on. From the son of Balthorn, Bestless father, I mastered mighty songs 9, and a drink I had of the dearest mead, got from out of Otherrorir.
Okay, 9 mighty songs I learned from the son of Bolthorn, Bestla's father. And I came to drink of that costly mead, the holy vessel held. Just the holy vessel. They just don't. What is the name of the holy vessel?
Otherrorir.
Okay.
Othr. O and E together is one letter. RIR. They love RIR.
Rear. Yeah, they do love rears.
I'm like, what? What do you mean, rear? Okay. Then I began to grow and gain an insight, to wax, eke, and wisdom. One verse led on to another verse, one poem led on to the other poem.
Thus I learned the secret lore, prospered and waxed in wisdom. I won words from the words I sought, verses multiplied where I sought verse.
Runes wilt thou find, and rightly read, of wondrous weight, of mighty magic, which that died, the dread god,
You will find...
which that made the holy host, and were etched by Othin.
Oh shit, sorry. You will find runes and read staves rightly. The strong magic, the mighty spells that the sage has set down. That the sage has set down. That the great gods made. Wisdom of Odin. It's shorter.
Othin among Aesir, for Alf's Dane, Dvalin for the dwarves, Alfsmith for among Etins, but for earthborn men. Wrought I some myself.
Is it called? It's called an ash, right? That AE.
I don't know.
Okay. Odin for the Aesir, Dane for the elves, Dvalin for the dwarfs, Osvid for the giants. I made some myself.
Knowest how to write, knowest how to read, knowest how to stain, how to understand, knowest how to ask, knowest how to offer, knowest how to supplicate, knowest how to sacrifice.
Do you know how to write? Do you know how to read? Do you know how to paint? Do you know how to prove? Do you know how to wish? Do you know how to worship? Do you know how to summon? Do you know how to sacrifice?
'Tis better unasked than offer over much. For I doth a gift look for gain. 'Tis better unasked than offered over much. Thus did Othin write. Ere the earth began, when up he rose in aftertime.
Better no prayers than too many presents. Gift ever looks for gift. Rather be forgotten than fed too much. Thus wrote Odin before the world began, where he rose up when he returned.
Dang, in the aftertime. Those spells I know, which the spouses of kings, what not nor earthly wight. Help! One is height, with which holpen thou be in sorrow and care and sickness.
Whoa. I know spells no king's wife can say, and no man has mastered. One is called help, because it can comfort the sick and careworn, relieve all sorrows.
Dang, one of my biggest spells is when I just ask people for help.
It's called help.
One of the best spells any young wizard can learn is the spell called help.
It is just called help, and no king's wife can say it.
Whoa. That other I know, which all will need, who leeches list to be, on the bark scratch them, of bole in the woods, whose boughs bend to the east.
I know another which all men need who hope to be healers. That's it.
Nice.
They shortened that way down.
That third I know, if my need be great, to fetter a foeman fell, I can dull the swords of deadly foes, that nor wiles nor weapons avail.
That one had a good rhyme. I know a third, if I should need to fetter any foe. It blunts the edge of my enemy's sword, neither wiles nor weapons work.
That fourth I know, if foemen have fettered me hand and foot, I chant a charm the chains to break, so the fetters will fly off my feet, and off my hands the halter.
I know a fourth, if I should find myself fettered hand and foot. I shout the spell that sets me free, bonds break from my feet, nothing holds my hands.
So these are all the spells he knows. He's giving us his spell list.
That's sick.
The first spell I know...
There's a lot.
First spell I know makes chicks like me. The second spell makes me...
The second spell you're not
my dick
allowed to
really
say.
big.
Yeah.
Okay.
I know another that you need if you want to be a healer. That's all I'm going to say. That's all I'm saying. What the fuck?
That fifth I know, if from foeman's hand I see a spear sped into throng. Never so fast it flies, but its flight I can stay once my eye lights on it.
I know a fifth, in battle's fury, if someone flings a spear, it speeds not so fast, but that I can stop it, I have only to see it.
So, yeah, projectiles.
This spell involves me looking at a spear, and it stops.
Yeah.
And I can do that.
If from foeman's hand I see a spear sped. Okay, yeah. The sixth I know, if me someone's wounds with runes on gnarled root written, or rouses my wrath by reckless speech, him blights shall blast, not me.
I know a sixth. If someone would harm me by writing runes on a tree root, the man who wished I would come to woe will meet misfortune, not I.
That's good. I'm gonna read it again. If me someone wounds with runes of gnarled root written, or rouses my wrath by reckless speech, him blight shall blast, not me.
Maybe it is better if we hear the more like dumbed down version
I don't know.
first.
I just wanted to read it again.
Yeah, it is good.
That was.
But it might be
You want me
funnier
to
if
go?
we hear the
You
crazy,
want to go then?
the antiquated,
All right,
archaic
go
one. All right, I'm going.
Seventh.
Starting now. I know a seventh. If I see flames high around a hall, no matter how far the fire has spread, my spell can stop it.
The seventh I know, if o'er sleepers' heads I behold a hall of fire on fire, however bright the blaze, I can beat it down. That mighty spell I can speak.
All right. I know an eighth, which no one on earth could fail to find useful. When hatred waxes among warriors, the spell will soothe them.
Nice. Makes everybody like each other.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Nice. It's called a cold one. Good, giving everybody a cold one.
It's called a damn Beats pill.
The eighth I know, which to all men is needful and good to know. When hatred runs high, heroes among their strife, I can settle full soon.
I know a ninth, if I ever need to save my ship in a storm, it will quiet the wind and calm the waves, soothing the sea.
Nice. That tenth I know, if night hags sporting, I scan aloft in the sky. Oh, wait, did you read the one about the ship? I forgot
ninth.
that I skipped
The
it.
ninth one.
Yeah. That ninth I know, if need there be to guard a ship in a gale, the wind I calm and the waves also, and wholly soothe the sea.
Yeah, hell yeah. Jesus did that.
Right, he does do that.
I know a
One of the
tenth.
classic Jesus spells.
That's one of his famous spells. Anytime I see witches sailing the sky, the spell I sing sends them off their course. When they lose their skins, they fail to find their homes.
Right, that 10th I know. If night hags sporting, I scatter aloft in the sky. I scare them with spells, so they scatter abroad, heedless of their hides, heedless of their haunts.
Heedless of their hides.
Right.
They
What is
remove-
that? Wait, I gotta think of that.
They lose their skin.
It says, that is of their own skins or forms, which they leave behind on their rides. The incantations cause the witches to forget both their original forms and their homes.
That's powerful.
So
That's
when
a powerful
witches
spell.
fly, they're actually leaving their body, is what they're saying in this
Holy shit.
tradition. And
Okay.
so if you see the witch and you do the spell on them,
They don't know
won't
how
be
to
able
get back.
find their body.
They don't know how to get back.
Yeah.
Are we on the 11th?
Yeah.
I know an 11th, if I lead to war, good and faithful friends, under a shield I shout the spell that speeds them. Well they fare in the fight, well they fare from the fight. Wherever they go, they fare well. So it's like it's a team health boost.
That 11th I know. If I am to lead old friends to the fray, under buckler I chant that briskly they fare. Hail and the whole to battle. Hail and whole from battle. Hail wherever they are.
It's like a medic class
Hail.
kind of spell.
No, I think it's more of a bard, like, make everybody... It's an inspiration.
Oh, true, it is inspiration. My bad. I know a 12th. I know a 12th. 12th. If up in a tree I see a corpse hanging high, the mighty runes I write and color make the man come down to talk with me. Whoa.
That 12th I know. If on tree I see a hanged one hoisted on high, thus I write, and the runes I stain, that down he drops and tells me his tale.
Lazarus, dude.
Sort of.
Who did he bring back to life?
That's
Wasn't it him? Just didn't use runes. I know a
Right.
13th.
He
If
didn't
I
need
pour
this tale, though. It's more like the spell in D&D where you can bring someone back to life and ask them how they killed them. It's like, who killed you? Okay, thanks.
you back to the death, back to the world of the dead. I know a 13th. If I pour water over a youth, he will not fall in any fight. Swords will not slay him. Holy water.
That 13th I know, if a thane's son I shall wet with holy water, and never will he fall, though the fray be hot, nor sink down, wounded by the sword.
I know a 14th, as men will find when I tell them tales of the gods. I know all about the elves and the Aesir. Few fools can say as much.
That 14th I know, if to folk I shall sing and say of the gods, Aesir and Alfs, now, or know I altogether of unlearned few have that lore.
I know a 15th that the dwarf Thodrorir chanted at Delling's door. Power to the Aesir, triumph to the elves, understanding to Odin.
Wow.
That's a spell?
That know I 15th, which Throfdrorir sang in dwarf before Delling's door, gave to Asia strength, to Alf's victory by his song and insight to Othin. Wait, let me look at this. So that guy, Throfdrorir, I got a footnote. It says
Run it.
unknown elsewhere, which is a great,
Good
great
footnote.
footnote. They go, we don't know, with zero clue.
Good footnote.
No one has ever mentioned this guy ever.
Who is he? No one knows. That's, I feel like, everyone in this.
But a lot of them are mentioned
Whatever.
in other ones. Most of the other footnotes that I haven't read say it's in this other one where they also mention this.
I know a 16th. If I say that spell, any girl soon grants my desires. I win the heart of the white-armed maiden, turn her thoughts where I will. Okay.
That 16th I know, if I seek me some maid to work my will with her, the white-armed woman's heart I bewitch, and toward me I turn her thoughts. So he can charm a lady.
Charm ladies.
Charm lady. I cast charm lady.
I love these short ones. I know a 17th, and with that spell, no maiden will forsake me.
Whoa.
That's it.
That 17th I know, if the slender maid's love I have, and hold her to me, thus I sing to her, that she hardly will leave me for other man's love.
You will never fucking leave me.
Right.
Just while my wife's sleeping, just sing.
Yeah, you gotta sing.
You're not going anywhere.
If the slender maid's love I have, and hold her to me. You have to hold her to you.
I have your love and I hold you to me.
Thus.
And I will never be forsaken.
Right.
But all this lore, I'm not gonna sing it. But all this lore, you, Lord Fafnir, will long be lacking. Though it would help you to have it, do you good to get it, and be needed if you knew it. So he's telling the runes to...
In this law wilt thou, Lord Fafnir, be unversed forever, and I, thy wheel wear it. If this wisdom thine, 'tis helpful, if heeded, 'tis helpful, if known. Oh, 'tis needful, if known.
Needful.
'Tis helpful if heeded, 'tis needful if known.
That might be a tongue twister.
That's a good thing. That's what I tell my students every day. I tell my students every day in my history class where I teach them that the Civil War was not because of slavery. I tell them, 'tis heedful if heeded, and 'tis needful.
It was about property.
Right.
I went to college. No and
State rats.
18th.
States rats.
States rats.
I love states rats.
It was about states rats. Do you know how much a slave cost? I know an 18th, which I never tell, a maiden or any man's wife. The best of charms, if you can chant it. This is the last of my lay. Unless to a lady who lies in my arms, or I'll sing it to my sister. Cool. So it's a...
So this is, the final charm, which is love.
It's a lady who it's a spell that makes a lady love you.
That 18th I know, which to none I will tell, neither maid nor man's wife. 'Tis best warded, if but one know it. This speak I last of my spells, but only to her, in whose arms I lie, or else to my sister also. It's like, if you don't have,
You don't have a lady to love?
Right, you could channel this to the sister.
To your sister. I like the way this one's written. It's just, or I'll sing it to my sister.
Right.
Yeah. Like it's an afterthought.
Wait,
okay.
let's read the last one at the same time.
Okay.
For no reason.
All right, 1, 2, 3. The
Now
sayings
our
of the High
harsh
One,
sayings,
heard in
spoken
his
in
hall,
Har's hall,
are
of
helpful
help
to sons of men,
of harm
harmful
to the
to
sons
giants.
of Ettins.
Hail to the
whoever
speaker.
spoke them.
Hail
to
the one
whoever
he
knows
taught.
them.
They're
Gain
lucky
they
to
who
have
grasp
the
them.
lore.
Happy
if they
who
heed it.
them.
That's gonna be sick.
That's going to be psychosis-inducing.
Clip
I'm gonna
that.
split
Clip
that so it's like you're each in.
Can you, when you do it, can you make our voices really deep?
Yeah.
Conrad, can you make my voice deep?
Can you make my voice deeper?
Can my voice sound deeper? Can you do something to make my
Hey, in
voice
post,
sound
can you
deeper?
do something to my
Yeah.
track where my
Dude.
voice sounds like
Deep like Andrew?
I'll make you sound
like deeper like Andrew's?
I'll make you sound like Nina Simone.
Yeah, can I sound like Nina Simone? Can you
One-
make Andrew sound like Luther Vandross? And then make Hunter sound like fucking Plankton.
So we could maybe call it on the Edda for now.
Edda's cool.
Yeah,
Yep.
there's so many other Eddas we can touch on.
Oh yeah.
That was the sayings. of,
Edda V.
There's a burp,
Yeah.
Hunter. You happy?
I'm very happy to finally hear you burp.
Yeah. Do you see me as a human now? You see me as another man just like you?
That's a jump.
You
to
see me as a
go
man
that
made of
far.
flesh and blood just like you? A man of flesh and blood
I'm
and
gonna
piss.
I'm gonna need to
and
see
hair.
a lot more before I'm convinced fully.
You need to see more flesh and blood?
Yeah.
Okay. Check this out. Ah!
I'm gonna need to see you bleed out the
Get a
asshole
quick-
first.
You don't want to see my ass bleed.
Oh yeah, Hunter was gonna do the toast.
My ass flesh. Oh yeah, we have Hunter here to read some toasts.
Do some toast. Oh, go to the friends section. I put a bookmark in it. Give us some toasts as friends.
All right.
This is
let's
just gonna
see.
be awesome. I'm looking at the definition of prisms. We'll close that.
Always.
Get distracted. What would happen if I swallowed one of these runes?
You need these friends ones.
I think you just poop it out.
Right. It's like a vitamin.
May we have more and more friends and need them less and less.
Yes. We're at the Friars Club.
Do a bunch in a row.
This is.
Are you
may
trying to
you
decide?
live to 100, and may your shadow never grow less.
Nice.
yeah.
May you grow to 100, and may your shadow.
Never go.
Here's a toast for you and me, and may we never disagree. But if we do, then to heck with you. So here's a toast to me.
That's so smart.
Hunter, how dare you at your
Hunter.
grandpa's funeral do this?
You cad.
You scoundrel.
Do not. You're banned from all family events.
You ragamuffin.
do not toast yourself.
How dare you besmirch family dinner?
All right.
You're lucky your grandmother's deaf.
You've ruined supper for everyone. Continue.
Do 5 more.
May you live in bliss and sorrow
As fast
from
as
sorrow
possible.
away. Have plenty laid up for a rainy day. And when you are ready to settle in life, may you be good husband and wed a good wife.
Well,
May you be good husband.
May you be good husband.
May you be good husband.
Here's to all you, my friends. I greet you, and may I never cease to greet you as my friends.
All right. These aren't. These are good.
There's better.
Read a couple more, really fast.
All right. You may prate of virtues of memory, of the days and joys that are past, but here's to good forgettery and friendships that cannot last.
Oh man,
Wow.
that's so
Yes.
coy, dude.
This one goes out to all my fake friends.
Shout
Old
out.
friends are scarce, new
You know who
friends
you
are
are.
few. Here's hoping I found one of each in you.
Aw.
A little health, a little wealth, a little house and freedom, with some friends and certain ends, but little cause to need 'em.
Yes.
Yes, this is good. I'm ready to drink. I don't know about you guys, but
You're
I'm ready
toasted.
I'm ready to fucking
you're
drink.
thoroughly toasted.
I had a lunch beer. I had a breakfast beer.
Oh, this is a good one.
And yet,
Now
me
friend-
and Zach were begging you to drink beers last night, and you refused.
I know, it was too late.
I know.
It was too late to drink beer.
Yeah, you're more of a morning beer.
I'm
guy.
like a daytime, morning
Yeah.
time beer kind of guy. I have a beer with
beer
breakfast
marathon,
and no other beer.
beer mile.
Yeah, I just have the drinking patterns that make people think I have like a problem. But what they don't realize is that's my one beer of the week.
Now I, friend, drink to you, friend, as my friend drank to me. And I, friend, charge you, friend, as my friend charged me. That you, friend, drink to your friend, as my friend drank to me. And the more we drunk together, the better friends will be.
I think I heard Pitbull do a toast like that.
Well,
I was
I like
watching
that.
this video of like it was like all these guys standing with Pitbull and they're like doing a toast, and Pitbull has like the most like rhyming riddle ass toast where he's like, "For the best of time that we wasted ain't wasted when we win," and it's just like whoa, and everybody's like whoa.
damn.
I gotta find.
Was
it.
that about charging your friends? Was that like a joke about charging your friends money? Or is it like you charge them to...
like electrically?
Like, tell them what to do.
Yeah, okay.
Oh, charged, like a king.
More than silver, more than gold are the friends new and old, giving freely from their store, so that I may have the more. Sorrow for my troubles voicing, yet in my success rejoicing. New friends, old friends, tried and true. Here's a toast from me to you.
That's just... These are nice.
Yeah, this is like nuts because it's like if you just had that written on a piece of paper and kind of were really working on just one of them, and then you said it somewhere, everyone would be like, "Whoa!"
Yeah.
Like everyone would be like, "Wow!"
I want to do one of these like in a movie theater before the movie starts. I want to stand
that's
up and just
Yeah.
say one of these and then just sit
Everybody
down.
has a beer.
Enjoy the movie, everyone. Just return to my seat.
We're friends.
We're all friends now.
Which means I could crash at your place, because I really need a place to
I need a ride home. That'd be funny, stand up at the end of a movie. Did you guys all enjoy the movie? That's great. A lot of you, I know you don't know me, but I do need a place to sleep. I'm an honest man, a clean man. I would never betray your trust. Now that we've all watched Late Night with the Devil together, I humbly ask you to allow me to sleep in your home. Do I have a house? Yes.
Oh wait, there's something about the future. That sounded good. Okay, I'm gonna do something about the future.
The future?
Yeah,
A toast to the future.
yeah. I go. May the best day we have seen be worse than the worst that is to come. I didn't read it fast enough, but I'm gonna just move on to another one. Here's to the times we might have
I was
had.
just thinking about
Here's
it.
to the girls we might have won. Here's that we do the thing next time that last time we should have done.
That's a good one.
Here's to the world, the merry old world, to its days both bright and blue. Here's to our future, be it what it may. And here's to my best. That's you.
Hey, Thanks, man.
That's you. May life be full of hope and praise, all smiles without a tear or sorrow, and may our best of yesterdays be bettered by our worst tomorrow. Oh, that was all Frank Morris? Or just that one's Frank Morris? Okay. And this one's, here's to our future, your present and your past. May each new day be happier than the last.
That's nice.
That one was good.
These are nice.
Let me see if I can find a good topic for Conrad.
These are all toasts. Are they all?
Oh, these are. Okay.
Is there like a toast for like a funeral or
Right. Yeah. this
breakfast?
one-
Is there like a
can you do
break?
these ones about wives?
Yeah, for sure. As the married
Yeah.
member, I'm gonna hold this up. To our sweethearts and wives, may they never meet.
All the wife ones, it's like, oh, Conrad, you're not allowed.
We're cheating on our wives.
At dinner
We're
anymore.
jacking off all the time, and we cheat, and we want to
Yeah.
kill them.
Don
Let's
Draper's
drink.
so pissed at you.
Yeah.
Don Draper's at the dinner, and he's like looking at you.
To our wives, we fucking hate them, and we don't like them.
Are any of them gonna be positive?
Well, let's see. Here's a toast to those who make toasts worthwhile.
Wow.
Our wives. I don't know what that. I feel like that's
Maybe
still
that was
a jab.
a jerk. Yeah, thing.
Here's to our better halves who reconcile us to our poorer quarters. Fuck, man. I feel that one. JK. Here's to the man who loves his wife and loves his wife alone. For many a man loves another man's wife when he ought to be loving his own. See, I'm in a good
Talking
position.
about you, Brad.
Yeah. I've seen you. I've seen you looking at her. Yeah, I don't ever get into that situation. No one I know is married. Here's to our wives who fill our lives with little bees and honey. They break life's shocks.
Money. And they take all our money.
And they, what is it?
Take all our money.
They break life's shocks, they mend our socks, but don't they spend the money? Yeah, you got it.
I got it.
Yeah, try to write the second. Maybe I'll stop before the last line, and you
yeah,
try
if
to.
it's gonna be a rhyming one.
You
yeah,
try to
we'll
write. Yeah, this one will rhyme, so I'm gonna stop before the last line. Here's to Solomon and David and their merry, merry lives, with their many, many lady friends and many, many wives. But when old age came creeping with its many, many qualms, Solomon wrote the Proverbs.
And David wrote the Psalms.
That's exactly what it said. That's crazy. How the fuck did you...
Well, first off, I knew that David
just
wrote
knew
the
that David
Psalms.
wrote Psalms, yeah.
And then they used the word qualms, which rhymes with nothing else.
There you go. Well, and David bought lip balm, you know?
Yeah.
You could have said...
Right, yeah. I went with the easy one.
And David climbed the palms.
Right. True.
David
Right. But they were talking about him writing.
David
whatever.
licked his palms.
Right. I doubted it halfway saying it because I was like, that's dumb. It doesn't even really make sense. It's not even mean to my wife.
Yeah, so that was all the wives.
That's all the
one.
wives ones? Alright. Any final ones?
Wine,
Check
women. We could just do the ones about women.
You should read the definition for love.
What?
The front of the book is definitions alphabetically, and they have a whole bunch of definitions for love.
Oh, wow. Oh, cool. These are like Jeff Foxworthy's redneck. This is like his redneck dictionary.
Right.
Look for love here. The delusion that one girl differs from another. That's the first definition of love.
Yeah.
The second definition is the only game which two can play and both win. Third is...
What about... the only game that two can play and both can win.
That's a crossword.
The only game that two can play.
18 across, the only
Right.
game that two can play and both can win. 14 letters. The opposite
of milk.
of milk. 32 down, smells horrible. 14 letters.
You're doing like a bingo thing, but
40
you're saying...
letters. Yeah, crossword bingo. Okay, so the third definition of love is the doorway through which the human soul passes from selfishness to service and from solitude to kinship with all mankind.
The definitions are bad.
I thought these were going to be funnier, yeah. These are all...
aren't as good as this toast that rhyme.
Yeah, hell yeah.
That started halfway through.
The future...
Yeah, I did the future ones. I kind of was like, oh
skip
man.
back here.
The past?
Friendship? Did we do
We
friendship?
did mostly friendship to begin with, yeah.
Fisherman. Here's the fisherman section. It has
All right.
one toast.
All right.
I'm going to read the fishing toast and pass it off.
We can just be done after that.
We could just be done, too.
We kind of milked it.
We'll close it out. Actually, you know what?
You didn't do the fish.
Who gives a shit?
Right.
Let's go.
We're gonna hit
we got
sake. I got
another
sake.
thing.
I got sake.
The short stories of Saki.
Short stories of sake. Introduction by Christopher Morley. I figured we'd hit the introduction today.
Christopher
Maybe the
Morley.
first
Give
one.
us a little backstory on him.
I googled him. He also wrote books. I've never heard of him or any of the books, but
Right on.
they're like kind of funny maybe or something.
Okay.
And he's from America, I think.
Is Saki from America?
He's from England.
England.
All right. So this
Is it like a foreign guy? Is it going to be like a bumbling foreigner? Saki?
He's just that's his writer name. He's not a character.
Oh, okay.
His characters are Reginald. I think we'll read a Reginald today.
Reginald, okay. I thought the character was Saki.
No.
My bad.
Here it is. All right. Introduction. The smiling, bitter Rubaiyat from which Hector Munro took his pseudonym were effectively symbolic of his own gift. The empty glass we turned down for him is the fragile, hollow-stemmed goblet meant for dry champagne.
Yes.
It is of finest crystal. Occasionally at his table, we are aware that he was also a still wine of elect vintage. But for the most part, he preferred to sparkle and fume with incessant bubbles of wit, a wit for which such words as satire, cynicism, sophistry are all too gassy. There is something of great encouragement in this renewed republication of his tales. One might have thought that to the rising generation he would speak of
Unassimilated?
unassimilatable.
Unassimilatable?
Unassimilable.
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 Unable to assemble, you know?
Unassemblable?
No. Unassimilable language.
Okay.
Maybe just look up this unassimilable.
Yeah.
Unass.
Yeah.
I-M-I-L-A-B-L-E. It's like equaled, probably.
Okay.
Probably.
We have a problem here.
It's not in there.
We have unassailable and unassuming, and so unassimilable. That's one of those just, suffix and prefix
He's just hitting
salads.
yeah.
I learned that in
Okay,
college.
it's
that
not
you can make
able
something
to
a
be
word.
taken in or absorbed.
Right, because it's it's just.
Right.
I had a
That's just what it
whole
means.
class in college that was about how you could
Assimilation.
like the word
Okay.
anti-disestablishmentarianism.
Oh, right.
Like that's not in the
Yeah,
dictionary, but it's you can pick apart
Right.
by just putting a bunch of
Right.
Tarian and ism, and
Right. Classic.
it's all very interesting.
But it's unassimilable language.
Unassimilable language.
Like certain beverages now almost mythical in the United States, he is genuinely pre-war, genuinely Scotch too. At least one reader is taken back by him to the vanished world of an Oxford common room when copies of the Bystander or the Westminster Gazette occasionally printed his grave mockeries. More often, though, it was the Morning Post. The faithful and severe anti-Americanism of that journal caused it to be read by some Rhodes scholars as a carminative.
okay.
Carminative.
Carminative.
Carminative. Carminative.
Carminative.
Carmen, but with an I. It was
Carminative.
worth it, for there one discovered sake. That's the end of the first paragraph. That paragraph. Carmen, but C-A-R-M-I-N.
Carminative, a drug causing expulsion of gas from the stomach or bowel. Carminative is expelling gas from...
Farting.
Yeah, it's just farting.
Wow.
Carminative. New word for farts, everybody.
Wow.
New fart word dropped.
Carminative.
Carminative.
Yeah, and I was talking about the coprolites last time,
Dude.
too.
Imagine next time someone says flatulence,
Right.
trying to sound like a funny nerd, trying to be like a funny smart guy, be like, oh, nice carminative,
Right.
my good sir.
That carminative noise I heard earlier, was that you? Was I the only person who heard some carminative noises just now?
I don't know what you mean.
Yeah, exactly, because you're fucking dumb.
I'm not sure what you mean.
In recent revivals of his books, distinguished enthusiasts have spoken handsomely of his urbane malice and charm. Yeah, doesn't this sound good? Aren't you excited for the urbane malice and charm?
I'm all about urbane malice and charm. That's what people describe
Yeah.
my art as.
But in all those comments, the friendliest critics have
Urbane.
shown themselves instinctively puzzled how to proceed. All have fallen back upon quotations of Saki's own felicities. This is inevitable. The fact is there are few writers less profitable to write about. Saki exists only to be read.
All
The
right.
exquisite lightness of his work
Not to be
offers
smelled.
no grasp for solemnities of earnest criticism. He is of those brilliant and lucky volatiles who are only to be enjoyed, not critic-handled. He will be instinctively recognized and relished by those capable. Are you ready?
I'm gonna relish him
Are
if
you
I'm
ready
capable.
to be capable?
I don't know if I'm capable
Yeah.
to relish. I'm
Right.
looking up the definition of urbane. I'm clearly not. I don't know if I'm on the
Right.
level
Urbane.
that I need to be on here.
Fancy and smart, I think.
I'll be the judge of that.
Yeah.
Urbane,
Being
urbane.
sophisticated.
Yeah, hell yeah. Having the polish and suavity regarded as characteristic of sophisticated social life in major cities. That's like exactly what you said word for word. Yeah, sophistication in expression. Urbane. Okay.
It's like saying urban, but instead of being mean and a euphemism for talking about black people, you're talking about a cool white guy that you think is very fancy.
The urbane carminative. It's when a rich guy farts.
Mr. E.V. Lucas, expert on both mirth and grimness, long ago described the perfect hostess as one who puts by the guest room bed a volume either of O. Henry or Saki or both. I have both.
So, this is for you.
Yeah, but we're gonna read
This is
some
a
O.
book
Henry
for
too.
people who have
You guys
the
into
book.
O. Henry yet? Any O. Henry
No.
fans?
Absolutely
He lived in
not.
Austin.
Okay. I don't know. I don't know who
Tell
that
us
is.
about O. Henry. Really
I don't know
quick.
what that is.
I remember his short story.
It's the one you've seen it. There's like kind of in Mickey Mouse cartoons or something. Sometimes it's called "The Gift of the Magi." This is one of his famous stories, and it's this lady has a comb that
I
she
know that
really
Andrew
likes.
Jackson Jihad song.
Yeah. So she has a comb she really likes, and
Yeah.
she has he has a wristwatch he really likes, and it's Christmas coming up, and they're very poor, and so but they both want to get each other good gifts, and so the guy sells his wristwatch. Oh no, she has very long hair, so he
Right.
sells his wristwatch to buy a comb, and she sells her hair to buy a chain for his watch.
Oh, I've heard this.
Right.
I've heard
Classic.
this.
Yeah, classic
Yeah.
tragedy.
That's the gift of the Magi.
The Gift of the Magi. That's what happens in it.
Wow.
And it's very sad.
Yeah, it is a sad story.
That always happens.
God.
So
Doesn't that always happen?
right. But those are the good volumes you could leave by your guest room bed. Is Saki or O. Henry. Because they have these nice little tales you can read. And you can kind of just pick up anywhere in there and you can just be, and then
Yeah.
you leave the next day. But it's just a fun book to dip into if you're a guest.
Yeah.
It is all right to put it there, but one hopes it will be brought downstairs the next morning. For Saki's most perfect felicity is to be read aloud in a house party setting.
Sounds like an awesome house party.
I haven't read this introduction yet.
Have you ever
That's
been
so
to a
funny.
house party where someone's reading?
We're at one right now, Conrad.
Oh, what?
Shit.
That's fucking true.
That's what I was saying. I was like,
thought I
that's
was at
pretty
work.
much- Right, exactly. Yeah.
I felt like I was at work for a
exactly.
second.
No, this is a house party.
Okay, that totally changes my whole.
The bracketing with O. Henry is not just casual, though the two are as different as Texas and Surrey. O. Henry lived in Texas.
What's Surrey?
Surrey's probably where Saki lives.
Okay.
In England somewhere. It's one of
Oh,
those
in
places
Surrey.
in England, you know.
Okay. The Surrey.
In Surrey. Both are instinctive storytellers dealing perfectly with their chosen material, but also did all their best work for newspapers. In parentheses.
Got
We
it.
love newspaper guys.
We are big fans of newspaper guys.
The English country house hostess, chambermaid, or candidate standing for a by-election are creatures as wild and strange to an American reader as O. Henry's ranchman and medicine show grifters to the London congregation of W.H. Smith. Both Saki and O. Henry are masters of the park bench setting.
Two old men sitting on a park
Saki
bench.
was less insistent on twisting the story's tale, but an equal master of surprise when he chose. Let the lover of O. Henry read Saki's Dusk, or The Mouse, or The Reticence of Lady Anne, or The Open Window, and see what I mean. The English flapper or nut of pre-war days was anatomized by Saki as shrewdly as, and less sentimentally than, O. Henry's sheepherder or shopgirl. He could purge the decorous amenities of an English weekend party with blasts of cyclone farce.
I want this.
I'm about to blast y'all with some cyclone of farce.
That was a blast of cyclone farce. That's so funny.
Blast of cyclone farce.
That's so cool.
He could show the conversation of a few ladies at bridge as deadly and quick on the trigger of concealed weapons as a Western barroom brawl.
That's so funny. This is just how people like the shitty like Austin guys talk about comedians. Like this guy's a fucking. He grabs the knife and he doesn't stop stabbing until there's fucking no blood.
He twists it.
And then he twists the blade and fucking plugs the hole.
There is no greater compliment to be paid the right kind of friend than to hand him Saki without comment.
Yeah, you just gotta hand.
I just roll up to the. I go, bro.
No comment.
Yeah,
you don't
no
even have any comment.
No comment. Particularly to those less familiar with the mysterious jungles of English humor, a savage country with birds of unexpected plumage. Saki's insouciant for a spoof may be a revelation. Look up insouciant.
Insouciant?
INSOUCIANT. Insouciant. Just a good word to know. I was like, saw it coming up and I was like, oh, I think I know how to say that.
Insouciant is
INSOU.
UC?
OUC.
Oh, it's OU.
OUC.
Insouciance. Okay, sorry. Insouciant. Free from concern, without anxiety, carefree.
Carefree.
That's insouciant.
Nice. Yeah, we're pretty insouciant.
This guy's fucking insouciant. He's a murderer.
If you see him at the mic, he's so insouciant.
He's firing live rounds
He's
into
so
the face of the audience.
He's so insouciant.
He points a gun at the crowd.
Many who believe the famous phrase, no more privacy than a goldfish, to be inalienably American will be surprised to find that Saki used it in 1903 or thereabouts, though I dare say it may really date from Alexander Pope. Any Pope heads?
That's so funny.
Any Popers?
That is so
Alexander Pope, anybody?
funny. I have no clue who these people are.
He's like a humorous poet
Okay.
from a long time ago. I think he wrote The Rape of the Lock.
Oh, my favorite humorous poem.
I think that's what it's called.
The Rape of the Lock?
I think so.
Like the lock on the lock.
I don't know.
Lake?
I haven't checked it out.
Someone raped a lake?
Let me double check.
Someone fucked a door?
Yeah,
The Rape
that's
of
a
the Lock?
popey.
Popey.
Pope. It's a mock heroic narrative poem. So once we get more into heroic narrative poems, we pop that one in and we go ha ha ha.
This one's a mock one.
Yeah, it's a joke one. Delicate, airy, lucid, precise, with inconspicuous agility of perfect style, he can pass into the uncanny, the tragic, into mocking fairy tales grimmer than grim. Capital G. His phrases are always urbane and usually final. His hair and forehead, this is a quote, his hair and forehead furnished a recessional note in a personality that was in all other respects obtrusive and assertive. Probably more, end quote, probably more than any writer who ever lived, he has made a study of aunts and nephews. His sister's biographical
It's an interesting dynamic
sketch,
for sure.
which tells with moderation of the appalling antly regime of their childhood, gives us a clue to this. Aunts and werewolves were two of his specialties.
Aunts and werewolves?
Of what other writer can it be said that his life could not be written until his aunts had died?
Wow.
Also, so this guy hasn't said this because this introduction is from the 50s, but this dude is a gay guy, okay?
Got it.
Saki's a gay guy.
Or he was groomed by his aunts.
To be
True.
gay. You guys say aunt? Both
I
of
was
you
just
guys?
saying it because he's British.
Okay.
And black people say aunt. They say auntie.
Yeah. Check this out.
Whoa.
Put that back.
There are certain...
Go to bed. Go to bed, Hunter.
There are certain social types whom Saki cooks and serves for us as absolutely as perfect asparagus and hollandaise. Even their names are genius, as every critic has noted. Sir James Beanquest, Mrs. Thropplestance, Ada Spellvexit, Mrs. Quabarl, Clovis Sangrail, Comus Bassington, Blanche Bavel, Hortensia Bavel. Can you resist the desire to be introduced to these? Clovis, Playboy of the Weekend World, I have always supposed to be so called because he was so appallingly frank. Saki writes so lightly that you might hardly notice how beautifully also. And here and there, beneath so much enchanting play upon words, you will be startled and embarrassed by play upon hearts. Let me repeat that what I once put into the mouth of the old Mandarin, in quotes, in a pseudo-Chinese translation. So this is something that Christopher Morley wrote, the fake Chinese guy.
There's a fake Chinese guy?
I get. So he says, let me repeat what I once put into the mouth of the old Mandarin in a pseudo-Chinese translation. I've never... Okay.
That sounds fun
There
to
is
read.
something especially Chinese in Saki's Tory humor. He was the claw of the demon cat. Beneath his brilliant robe, suavest comedian, silkiest satirist, smooth as a shave, with a new razor blade.
Hell yeah.
And that's the end of the...
So is the
The
character
introduction.
Saki supposed to be a Chinese guy, or am I misunderstanding?
There's no character named Saki. Saki is the name that he...
Yeah, the guy
writes,
who writes it.
But he doesn't write from a character. It's
Okay.
just written, and then he
Okay.
signs it as Saki. It's not like Lemony Snicket or whatever. He's not going to be like,
That's what I was-
hey, it's me, Saki. I don't think that happens.
Okay, cool.
I think just, it's like,
Okay.
what he signs his letters.
It's me,
or some
Saki.
shit.
I'm
Yeah.
a Chinese guy.
We'll see. And it's from the Rubaiyat, which they said at the beginning, which is from India.
Right.
Or
All right.
maybe Saudi Arabia.
Well,
Omar Khayyam, where are you
we'll
from?
leave it up. We'll leave it up to the experts.
Google.
Omar
Google.
Khayyam.
Google.
He's Persian. He's Iranian.
Can I look at the stories?
Yeah.
Let me look at the table of
Maybe
contents
just hit
here.
the first Reginald one. I don't think it's that long.
Just the one just called
Yeah,
Reginald.
it's just 3 pages, yeah.
There's a lot of Reginald stuff.
I know, that's why we should just read the first Reginald.
Yeah.
Just jump right in.
All right.
there a... What's this say?
These sketches originally appeared in the Westminster Gazette. Thanks are due to the editors for permission to republish them.
Alright, now let's meet Reginald.
Okay. I did it. I should have known better. I persuaded Reginald to go to the McKillop's garden party against his will. We all make mistakes occasionally. They know you're going to be here, and they'll think it's so funny if you don't go. They'll know you're here, and they'll think it's so funny if you don't go. And I want particularly to be in with Mrs. McKillop just now. I know you want one of her smoke Persian kittens as a prospective wife for Wumples. Or a husband, is it? Reginald has a magnificent scorn for details, other than sartorial. And I am expected to undergo social martyrdom
Do we
to
know what
suit the
sartorial
connubial... Roughly? Isn't
What
it
does
like...
it mean?
Isn't it... I don't know what it means. I know about it in clothes. I heard
What
that's...
does it mean?
It's like, not coquettish, but like you wear like overalls and shit. Yeah.
This is the new...
This is a dictionary music?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty good. Sartorial. No, I think it's like wearing suits and watches and shit. That's sartorial clothing.
Of or pertaining to a tailor or to tailoring.
Got it.
Conrad was so right. So reread the sentence. And what does it mean? It's something about how his suits are bad or his suits good.
Okay, so this is... Yeah, I'll just
Are
start
his
at the
suits
beginning of
bad or
this
good? Are
paragraph.
Reginald's suits bad?
I know, you want one of her smoke Persian kittens as a prospective wife for Wumples. Or a husband, is it? And then in
So
parentheses...
Wumples might be her cat.
It's a cat breeding ploy.
Right.
In parentheses, it says, Reginald has a magnificent scorn for details other than sartorial.
So he loves sartorial details.
Okay, so he dresses really well, but he doesn't care
Right.
about much else.
He's cool.
And I am expected to undergo social
Hunter.
martyrdom to suit the connubial exigencies. Reginald! It's nothing of the kind. Only I'm sure Mrs. McKillop would be pleased if I brought you. Young men of your brilliant attractions are rather at a premium at her garden parties. Should be at a premium in heaven, remarked Reginald complacently. There will be very few of you there, if that is what you mean. But seriously, there won't be any great strain upon your powers of endurance. I promise that you shan't have to play croquet or talk to the archdeacon's wife or do anything that is likely to bring on physical prostration. He's just gonna lie on the floor.
Do I have to play croquet? I don't want to play croquet.
Yeah. Isn't prostrating laying on your face?
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Prostrate is like you're kneeling, not on your. It's like face down.
Oh, so it's like you have to
Yeah.
kiss ass.
Yeah.
He's promising him that it doesn't have to kiss ass at the party. You can just wear your sweetest clothes and a moderately amiable expression and eat chocolate creams with the appetite of a blasé parrot. Nothing more is demanded of you. Reginald shut his eyes. There will be exhaustingly up-to-date women who will ask me if I have seen Santoy, a less progressive grade who will yearn to hear about the Diamond Jubilee, the historic event, not the horse. Ha ha ha. Ha ha ha. With a little encouragement, they will inquire if I saw the Allies march into Paris. Why are women so fond of raking up the past? They're as bad as tailors, who invariably remember what you owe them for a suit long after you've ceased to wear it.
Yeah, tailors.
Yeah.
What's up with that?
Just give me
I
the
don't
suit
even
for
wear that
free.
suit anymore.
I don't wear it. Why would I pay
Why
for
would
it?
I owe you money on a suit I don't wear?
I'll order lunch for 1 o'clock. That will give you 2.5 hours to dress in. Reginald puckered his brow into a tortured frown, and I knew that my point was gained. He was debating what tie would go with which waistcoat.
Wait, yeah, who's the narrator? I don't think the narrator is Saki, but someone that's Reginald's friend.
Reginald's boy.
Reginald's aunt? It might be a lady, right?
Maybe it's his aunt, yeah.
Right. I don't know.
During the drive to the McKillops, Reginald was possessed with a great peace, which was not wholly to be accounted for by the fact that he had inveiled his feet into shoes a size too small for them. What?
He put on really small shoes.
And he was possessed with a great peace?
Oh.
I don't understand. Okay. He just...
Because he's like his legs are numb.
Yeah.
You know, like numbness, the piece of numbness.
Oh, he can't move.
Maybe.
Okay.
I don't know.
Yeah, he just can't
I don't
move
know.
because his shoes are too small. That's
Might
pretty
have some
funny.
more.
I misgave more than ever, and having once launched Reginald onto the McKillop's lawn, I established him near a seductive dish of marron glacé, and as far from the archdeacon's wife as possible. As I drifted away to a diplomatic distance, the fucking jacket's fucked up. Sorry. As I drifted away to a diplomatic distance, I heard with painful distinctness the eldest Mockbee girl asking him if he had seen Santoy.
What is that word?
It's like in parentheses, so I guess it's like, I think it's a play. Or
What do you mean? What's in parentheses?
Santoy?
Oh, that's italics.
Did I say parentheses?
Yeah. But it's two words, S-A-N space T-O-I.
Yeah, I don't know why I said... Yeah.
Dang.
I was talking about parentheses earlier.
Santoy.
Italics.
Should I see if I can... Let me
Santoy.
see.
Yeah, we'll pick it up after this paragraph.
See.
It must have been 10 minutes later, not more, and I had been having quite an enjoyable chat with my hostess, and had promised to lend her the Eternal City and my recipe for rabbit mayonnaise, and was just about to offer a kind home for her third Persian kitten, when I perceived out of the corner of my eye that Reginald was not where I had left him, and that the marrons glacés were untasted. He didn't eat any chocolate. At the same moment, I became aware that old Colonel is so stupid on paper. At the same moment, I became aware that old Colonel Mendoza was essaying to tell his Classic story of how he introduced golf into India. And that Reginald was in dangerous proximity. There are occasions when Reginald is caviar to the Colonel. All right. What's Santoy?
So Santoy, or The Emperor's Own, is a, in quotes, Chinese musical comedy in 2 acts, first performed at Daly's Theatre, London on 21st October 1899, and ran for 768 performances, edging out the same composer's The Geisha as the second longest run of any musical up to that time.
Whoa.
And then another paragraph says, some of the language and stereotyping in the show reflect the period in which it was written and would not now be considered politically correct.
Yeah, you couldn't
However,
make that now.
a close inspection to the lyrics of such songs as Say Me Gay Me display a gentle
Say Me
mocking
Gay Me?
of the pretension of Western superiority.
Suck me, fuck me.
They have the Say Me Gay Me.
That's
So
funny.
it's some kind of weird, sort of a Major Modern General situation.
It was like Avenue Q. It was like
yeah.
a raunchy play.
It's so much like those things that we've been reading the tongue twisters from.
You couldn't
It's
make
so
that.
much like that.
You couldn't make that nowadays.
It's a British operetta, like the things that we've been. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm sorry. I'm just gonna lose my spot in this thing. I'm kind of on a roll here. I'm kind of I'm in the pocket right now, and I don't want to fall out. There are occasions when Reginald is caviar to the Colonel. When I was at Pune in 76, my dear Colonel, purred Reginald. Fancy admitting such a thing. Such a giveaway for one's age. I wouldn't admit being on this planet in 76. Okay, so Reginald's like a problem.
Right. Yeah, Reginald's like a gay guy that's really mean, I think.
I'm picking up more that he has like Tourette's or something.
Right.
Where he's
That
like,
too.
they just plant him near the
Well,
chocolate.
he's like too real.
They put him at the chocolate and they're like, don't talk to anyone.
Yeah, but he's so like messy. I think
the
he's
same-
messy.
Yeah. It's the same game plan that we have when I go to like work parties with
Right.
Lynn. When I hang out with her office coworkers.
Because you're like Reginald.
She's like, we're just gonna be nice, you know what I mean? We'll talk to a couple people, they're fun, but then most of them like won't really. They're like not gonna be into it.
Right.
Like, all right, heard for sure. And then I just don't talk to those people. And I eat chocolate. Reginald, in his wildest lapses into veracity, never admits to being more than 22. No, he is a gay guy.
Yeah, Twink Death.
Yeah. Twink death.
Reginald's so scared of Twink Death.
What is twink death?
Twink Death is when you're not like a little, elf-looking guy anymore. You look old.
Oh,
and it
got it.
happens fast.
You're just a little old man now.
You're like an old guy. You don't look like a twink anymore.
One day you're just a small old man
It's
instead
like
of a
a
cute
tiny
twink.
dwarf star collapsing. Into
Right.
Yeah, they should
Twink
call those
hole.
guys supernovas.
Right, Twink Death.
That would be a cool
There's
name.
no name for it. Just no one cares about
That's
them
the
anymore.
better
It's
name.
like a woman hitting the wall or whatever, you know.
Oh right, yeah.
It's that same idea.
They're over the hill.
It's not real. It's just you put two pictures next to people that one they look good, one they look bad and older. And you say Twink Death is real.
Twink death is real. Yeah, so Reginald fears twink death.
Right.
The Colonel went into the color of a fig that has attained great ripeness, and Reginald, ignoring my efforts to intercept him, glided away to another part of the lawn.
Yeah, I just realized they were talking about the Allies marching on Paris, but it's 1899, so I have like no idea what war they're talking about.
Was it just some conflict previous to
Something.
World
Yeah,
War
we don't
II?
know. Yeah, it's pre-World War One. It's 1899.
The Allies?
Yeah, I know. Yeah, we don't know. Just
Whoa.
we're gonna move on.
Yeah, I know. I can't keep up with that.
It doesn't matter.
Thank
It's
God.
about imperialism.
Thank God it doesn't
colonialism. He's a British guy. They're all over the place. Pretty much everything they do is fucked up.
matter. Right.
That's all we need to know.
Not my allies. I found him a few minutes later, happily engaged in teaching the youngest rampage boy the approved theory of mixing absinthe, within full earshot of his mother. Mrs. Rampage occupies a prominent place in local temperance movements. It might be Rampage, but Rampage is a cool
Spelled
name.
regular like Rampage, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah, who cares?
As soon as I had broken up this uncompromising tete-a-tete and settled Reginald where he could watch the croquet players losing their tempers, I wandered off to find my hostess and renew the kitten negotiations at the point where they had been interrupted. I did not succeed in running her down at once, and eventually it was Mrs. McKillop who sought me out, and her conversation was not of kittens. Your cousin is discussing Zaza with the Archdeacon's wife. He's talking about Zaza!
What is Zaza?
Fucking weed, dude.
Zaza.
No, it's in
Yeah.
italics. It's clear. It's definitely like Santoy or something.
Dang.
It's
Is it
some other-
capitalized?
Yeah, it's some fucked up play about like a kid having sex with an adult, you know. Zaza.
1899.
That's just my guess. Is that Zaza's about like the
Pizza.
murder? It's about pizza.
Imported from Paris. Yeah, new play. Yeah, it is.
But
a
that
play.
kind of pizza. You know what
It
I'm
is a
saying?
play.
That other kind.
Hillary Clinton.
The sweetest kind.
Okay, here it is. Zaza is a French language play written by playwrights Burton and Simon and staged for the first time in the Theatre du Vaudeville in Paris in May 1898. The title character is a prostitute who becomes a music hall entertainer and the mistress of a married man.
Whoa.
Dang, Zaza!
Yeah, that's so inappropriate to talk about with the Archdeacon's
Yeah,
wife.
you cannot watch. Yeah.
But now it's funny because
But
Zaza,
it is good for us because we were thinking about time machine type stuff, and we would use the time machine to go see Santoy and Zaza.
Yeah, definitely.
Hell yeah.
I do want to see Santoy.
I think Zaza sounds cooler if I'm being honest. If there's
Okay.
a prostitute
Zaza.
character who becomes a dance hall singer. That sounds great.
It's funny though too because Zaza is weed. It's a slang
guess,
term
yeah.
for weed.
Sure. There's a place called the Hotel Zaza in Houston. I think it's a chain.
Yeah.
Is that like a jazz thing? Like a
No, it's a regular hotel for rich people. It's like a very nice hotel.
Okay.
It has nothing to do with weed in any way, shape, or form. It's just
with
called...
Zaza?
I think it's the thing French
I'll
guys
imagine
say.
him just talking to the Archdeacon's wife and be like, "Yeah, I
Right.
smoke sherbet sunrise. I
Yeah,
go to this
Zaza.
place. I get the super booth. It's
Yeah. I don't know if Zaza is that prevalent, but maybe.
DJ.
It's with children. It's really it's weird if I say it.
Sure.
The more I say it, the more like this is not for people who are my age.
Nice.
I'm not. I'm 46. I'm an old man.
We're all 30.
We're all
30, 12.
30 to 40.
12.
I'm 89.
I am 30 to 40 years old.
We're all 600 years old.
18 to 35. That's how old we are.
We all fought in World War in the Civil War.
We fought in the Civil War, the
Don't ask us what country.
Mexican Civil War.
I'm ready to go.
We all fought in the Culture War, the Shadow War.
All right. Go
All right,
ahead.
sorry.
Go on.
That wasn't good. Your cousin is discussing Zaza with the Archdeacon's wife. At least he is discussing. She is ordering her carriage. Hell yeah. She spoke in the dry, staccato tone of one who repeats a French exercise. And I knew that as far as Millie McKillop was concerned, Wumples was devoted to lifelong celibacy. Celibacy.
Cat Wumples,
Wumples.
right?
Wumples is a cat who's trying to breed, and it's just not gonna fucking happen. If you don't mind, I said hurriedly, I think we'd like our carriage ordered too. And I made a forced march in the direction of the croquet ground. Popcorn errand, Andrew.
No, yeah, I'm not your wife, Conrad.
I'm sorry, man. It's the Zaza. It's not me.
I found everyone talking nervously and feverishly of the weather and the war in South Africa, except Reginald, who was reclining in a comfortable chair with the dreamy, faraway look that a volcano might wear just after it had desolated entire villages. The Archdeacon's wife was buttoning up her gloves with a concentrated deliberation that was fearful to behold. I shall have to treble my subscription to her cheerful Sunday evenings fund before I dare set foot in her house again. At that particular moment, the croquet players finished their game, which had been going on without a symptom of finality during the whole afternoon. Why, I ask, should it have stopped precisely when a counter-attraction was so necessary? Everyone seemed to drift towards the area of disturbance of which the chairs of the Archdeacon's wife and Reginald formed the storm center. Conversation flagged, and there settled upon the company that expectant hush that precedes the dawn, when your neighbors don't happen to keep poultry.
Whoa.
Because if they did... Conrad, remember you were saying, I want to keep poultry, perhaps.
I was considering keeping poultry.
Right,
Whoa.
but you wouldn't have that expectant hush that precedes the dawn
I know.
if you kept poultry.
But that's only with roosters.
Yeah, I don't know if that's true or not. I didn't want to say it.
I feel like that, yeah.
Yeah.
I think you're right.
It seems like if I was a girl chicken, I would do that too.
I would scream my head
Yeah,
off.
I don't think they're that quiet.
I'm making eggs!
Okay. What did the Caspian Sea? Asked Reginald. But it said Caspian Sea.
What did
Like,
the Caspian see?
Yeah, that's what he said.
Oh, what did the Caspian see?
Right. Asked Reginald
Wordplay.
with appalling suddenness.
Wordplay.
There were symptoms of a stampede. The archdeacon's wife looked at me. Kipling or someone has described somewhere the look of a foundered camel. The look a foundered camel gives when the caravan moves on and leaves it to its fate. The peptonized reproach in the good lady's eyes brought the passage vividly to my mind. I played my last card. Reginald, it's getting late and a sea mist is coming on. I knew that the elaborate curl over his right eyebrow was not guaranteed to survive a sea mist. So he has like fake eyebrows. He has like makeup eyebrows.
This guy rules.
Yeah, Reginald is like a very vain gay guy.
He's annoying as
Who
hell.
has fake eyebrows.
Oh yeah.
Never again. Fucking shit. Will I take you to a garden party? Never.
God damn
You
it.
behaved abominably. What did the Caspian see? A shade of genuine... It's spelled different that time. A shade of genuine regret for misused opportunities passed over Reginald's face. After all, he said, I believe an apricot tie would have gone better with the lilac waistcoat.
He's
Classic
real sassy.
Reginald.
He's
That's
just
the
always
end.
being Reginald.
That's the end.
No matter what, he's just gonna stay himself.
I believe an apricot tie would have gone better with the lilac waistcoat.
Isn't there a show that's like this where there's like a lady who's friends with like a gay guy who's a problem?
Right. Oh, I don't know. Is it?
I feel like that's what Will and Grace is. I've never seen an episode. I've
Maybe.
never seen an
He is a
episode of Will and
Grace
Grace,
fan.
but I feel like that's what that is.
Sort of a Reginald
basically.
situation.
Is it?
Yeah. Just,
Nice.
Well, Reginald, the narrator, I think is Reginald's aunt, right?
Yeah.
Or was that another character that we kind of, I don't know,
I don't think they ever really describe who.
his aunt was.
I feel like it is an old woman because she wants to breed cats.
Yeah, that's what's funny is we know we're the aunt because we want to breed cats.
Yeah, that is good.
But yeah,
But is that what Will and Grace is for real?
it's kind of more like Frasier.
Yeah.
Okay.
She just has a gay roommate, and they get in silly situations.
Got it. Okay. Well, it sounds good.
Yeah.
Or we could just keep reading
hilarious.
Reginald.
We got so many Reginalds.
I'm like, this is Will and
This one's
Grace.
short.
You want to just bust it out?
Should we do it?
Yeah.
Okay, this is Reginald on Christmas presents. I wish it to be distinctly understood, said Reginald, that I don't want a George, Prince of Wales prayer book as a Christmas present. The fact cannot be too widely known. There ought, he continued, to be technical education classes on the science of present giving. No one seems to have the faintest notion of what anyone else wants, and the prevalent ideas on the subject are not creditable to a civilized community. There is, for instance, the female relative in the country who knows a tie is always useful and sends you some spotted hoard that you could only wear in secret or in Tottenham Court Road. It might have been useful had she kept it to tie up currant bushes with, when it would have served the double purpose of supporting the branches and frightening away the birds, for it is an admitted fact that the ordinary tomtit of commerce has a sounder aesthetic taste than the average female relative in the country.
This guy's like Ignatius Riley.
I don't know who that is.
Confederacy of Dunces.
Oh, he's the main guy.
He's just an asshole, but he's just
Right.
really well spoken.
Yeah.
It's really funny. We should maybe read that.
Right. You were describing it earlier, and you mainly just said they
It
say
has the N word in
so
it. Yeah,
much.
yeah. But it's we can
Right.
work around it.
Right.
Say best friend or buddy.
Right.
Anyway.
And it is a novel,
Yeah. We could do like
which
a.
doesn't really fit it like any of the stuff we've done so far.
Yeah, it's true.
But you have read it.
In a perfect world,
Conrad has read it though.
I've listened to it. I'm
Conrad has
not
read the
I'm
book.
not claiming reading
Conrad
valor.
has read it.
I don't.
He knows the character's name, which I did not.
Saying you read it when you heard the audiobook is stealing valor. That's kind of the
That's
same
fine.
as
no
saying
one cares.
no one cares.
No one is keeping track of anyone reading any book.
Yeah, but if you get
And they're
caught, it's
never held
devastating.
accountable. Well,
It's-
you just go, oh, I forgot.
True.
Oh, yeah, I forgot. Yeah, I read a lot of books. I forget.
I read a lot of books.
There's so many.
I listen to the other books while I read.
Yeah.
All right.
Then there are aunts. They are always a difficult class to deal with in the matter of presents. The trouble is that one never catches them really young enough. By the time one has educated them to an appreciation of the fact that one does not wear red woolen mittens in the West End, they die, or quarrel with the family, or do something equally inconsiderate. That is why the supply of trained aunts is always so precarious. There is my Aunt Agatha, par exemple, who sent me a pair of gloves last Christmas, and even got so far as to choose a kind that was being worn, and had correct number of buttons. But they were 9s. I sent them to a boy who I hated intimately. He didn't wear them, of course, but he could have, and that was where the bitterness of death came in. I was nearly as consoling as sending white flowers to his funeral. Of course, I wrote and told my aunt that they were the one thing that had been wanting to make existence blossom like a rose. I am afraid she thought me frivolous. She comes from the north, where they live in the fear of heaven and the Earl of Durham. Reginald affects an exhaustive knowledge of things political, which furnishes an excellent excuse for not discussing them.
Nice.
That rules.
Pretentious.
Right. Sort of. But you don't know. He affects it. It's more of an affectation.
Right.
He has the affectation of discussing politics.
Like that guy. Like that one guy.
Sure.
Anyway.
Yeah.
Are we still going?
When you bring up the definition of pretentious, I'm always like, okay, yeah, I guess you get it.
I kind of, right?
Right, but it's just like, you don't need to use it ever, really. Because the thing we're doing is pretentious, Conrad. You shouldn't say pretentious because the thing we're doing is pretentious.
Oh, I don't see it that way.
Right, but that's not your job to. It's for others. Like,
Right.
You're not...
Okay.
It's not about the things you do. It's how you're perceived. Like...
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it's pretentious. Yeah.
I'm going to have a panic attack.
Yeah, pretty much. Sorry. Yeah.
What's with the
Because it's funny to say, it's, okay, the main reason it's funny for you to call this character in the book pretentious is that he's clearly so much smarter than all of us.
right.
So
Yeah.
that's the main reason why it's not that. You know what I mean?
Right.
You can really only do it to people that you're sure you're smarter than.
I'm mostly just trying to say that word. a
Right.
bunch. That's
Right.
really all I'm thinking
Okay.
about.
Okay. I was like, why is it so weird? In my head, I was just like...
It's because I've said it like
Right,
8 times
right.
today.
Sure.
Because it's funny.
No, yeah. Okay. Aunts with a dash of foreign extraction in them are the most satisfactory in the way of understanding these things. But if you can't choose your aunt, it is wisest in the long run to choose the present and send her the bill. Even friends of one's own set, who might be expected to know better, have curious delusions on the subject. I am not collecting copies of the cheaper editions of Omar Khayyam. I gave the last 4 that I received to the lift boy, and I like to think of him reading them, with Fitzgerald's notes to his aged mother. Lift boys always have aged mothers, shows such nice feeling on their part, I
Lift
think.
boys always have aged mothers.
Personally, I can't see where the difficulty in choosing suitable presents lies. No boy who had brought himself up properly could fail to appreciate one of those decorative bottles of liqueurs that are so reverently staged in Morel's window, and it wouldn't in the least matter if one did get duplicates. And there would always be the supreme moment of dreadful uncertainty whether it was creme de menthe or chartreuse, with the expectant thrill of seeing your partner's hand turned up at bridge. People may say what they like about the decay of Christianity. The religious system that produced green chartreuse can never really die. And then, of course, there are liqueur glasses and crystallized fruits and tapestry curtains and heaps of other necessaries.
Ants love crystallized fruit.
Necessaries. No, I think he wants the crystallized fruit.
From his
Maybe.
aunt?
I think so.
I thought
I
this
think
was
he's
gifts
wishes.
to give to the aunt. I'm retarded.
No, these are stuff. He's talking about stuff he's received and how it was bad, and then he wants the liquor. He was talking about how the liquor's good.
Yeah.
Because you can get duplicates and it doesn't
You
matter.
want crystallized fruit.
But maybe he was joking. I don't know if he really wants creme de menthe.
Well, this is like what a gay guy would
And
want.
then, of course, there are liqueur glasses and crystallized fruits and tapestry curtains and heaps of other necessaries of life that make really sensible presents, not to speak of luxuries such as having one's bills paid or getting something quite sweet in the way of jewelry. Unlike the alleged good woman of the Bible, I'm not above rupees. Oh, rubies. When found, by the way, she must have been rather a problem at Christmas time. Nothing short of a blank check would have fitted the situation. Perhaps it is as well that she's died out. The great charm about me, concluded Reginald, is that I am so easily pleased. But I draw the line at a Prince of Wales prayer book.
Yeah, I would.
That was funny. The part about the book was funny.
Have you?
about how
Have you?
people
I
keep
feel like you've
buying
gotten a
them.
prayer book as a gift.
No,
No,
not really.
I've gotten like teen devotion books.
Right, that kind of stuff. Yeah,
As
prayer
presents
books is
from your aunt.
Not very Protestant.
Aunts. Maybe this is just an American thing, or maybe just my family. Aunts, notoriously bad gift givers.
It was in England. That's what the whole story was about.
Yeah.
It was in England.
Do you? Okay.
You said maybe only in
Maybe
America
it's just
is what
me.
you said.
Yeah, I don't know.
But it's clearly also in England.
Yeah. Is
Only
it in your experience too?
Western culture.
Westerns,
Right.
yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
ants are really good in Eastern culture. Maybe, yeah.
Because they live at your house and you know. them.
Yeah, I bet it's
You
harder.
know them better.
Yeah. But I think they Eastern culture, they have a better system of giving money to each other.
They just give. Yeah.
They all have these little envelopes. To
It's
put the
not
money
tacky.
In. Yeah, it's just cool.
Yeah.
Um,
Lucky money.
You just give them the money in the little envelope.
Little envelope, and it's like the different colored ones mean different stuff, or is that?
Sure.
Did I make that up?
I bet. Colors are very meaningful.
Colors do have meaning. Here, colors have meaning.
Yeah. But yeah,
Yeah.
the thing about the copies,
Yeah.
the collecting copies of cheaper editions of Omar Khayyam. That was funny because that's where he got his name from.
I wanted
That's
to
where
say.
Saki got his name from.
I wanted to say when you said that part that I love people referencing stuff I've never heard of. Like I love.
And it's funny because we had mentioned it earlier in the discussion.
Yeah. Omar Khayyam.
He's from Persia. Because we were talking about what's the Saki name.
Wasn't he from Saudi Arabia?
No, I looked it up. He was
Oh,
Persian.
nice.
yeah.
All right.
But yeah,
So this is all.
that's Reginald. We have so many more
I
Reginald
feel like
stories.
Saki is writing these. I don't know.
Yeah. No, that one was the narrator was the aunt. You know.
Yeah.
And then the narrator in this one, it was all stuff Reginald
It's
said.
just about Reginald.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, this one was cool because it was all written as a quote, kind of, but there were no quotes. And then there was like in parentheses, like said Reginald. He
Oh.
continued in parentheses. Which was
Yeah, I
cool.
was only hearing it.
Yeah, check out the Christmas time.
Reginald on Christmas presents.
So that is kind of an interesting form
Yeah.
to read like that because it was all like Reginald talking,
It's just one long.
going off. Reginald going off.
We got Reginald on the Academy.
Yeah, we got so much. Maybe we'll just do Reginald for a while.
You just want to go
Just to finish
straight
the
through.
Reginald, yeah. I mean,
Okay.
not right now. We're probably done. We
Do
did
a selected
while.
works.
We're pretty good.
We're
for
pretty good.
today
Yeah.
right now.
We're getting better at cutting it.
We're at an hour and 32.
Yeah,
That's perfect.
Yeah.
Cool. Thank you.
God bless.
Great job.